I'm looking at my wedding album for the first time, 3 weeks after getting married, and my sister isn't in a single photo. Not because she didn't attend. She was there, front row, impossible to miss. Because she wore a white dress, a long, flowing bridal white dress with lace details and a fucking train. And when I asked my photographer if he could fix it, he said, "Say no more. I've been waiting for someone to let me do this." Here's what nobody tells you about family sabotage. It's never subtle enough to ignore, but it's always calculated enough to make you look crazy if you react. My sister wore white to my wedding, and everyone saw it. But I'm the one who got called dramatic for doing something about it. Let me back up. I'm Maya, 29 years old. I work as a graphic designer, which means I notice details other people miss. Color, composition, the way things are supposed to look versus how they actually do. My sister Hannah is 2 years older, 31, and for as long as I can remember, she's needed to be the center of attention. Not wants to be. Needs to be. Like oxygen. Growing up, it was small things. She'd accidentally spill something on my favorite shirt right before a school dance. She'd tell my parents I was sick, so I'd miss my own birthday party, and she could have my friends over instead. She'd date guys I liked just to prove she could. When I got into art school, she told everyone I only got in because of affirmative action. When I got my first big client, she said they probably felt sorry for me. Every achievement I had, she found a way to diminish. But I kept inviting her to things, kept including her. Because that's what you do with family, right? You forgive. You move forward. You pretend the pattern isn't a pattern. I met Daniel 3 years ago. He's a software engineer. Quiet, kind. The type of person who listens when you talk and remembers the small things. We got engaged last year. Small proposal. Just us. A hiking trail we both loved. Nothing Instagram-worthy. Just real. Hannah found out through my mom. Called me immediately. "Oh my God, congratulations. I can't believe you didn't tell me first." I didn't tell her first because I wanted one moment. One single moment that was mine before she made it about her. But I didn't say that. I just said, "Thanks. We're really happy." She asked to be a bridesmaid. I said yes, because what was I supposed to say? No? And then be the villain who excluded her own sister from her wedding? So I said yes, and I immediately regretted it. The dress drama started 4 months before the wedding. I picked Dusty Rose. Elegant, flattering on everyone. Sent the link to all my bridesmaids. Everyone ordered their dress within a week, except Hannah. She said the color washed her out. Said she'd look terrible in photos. Could she maybe wear a different shade? I said no. She ordered the dress, then returned it, then claimed it never arrived, then ordered it again in the wrong size, then said alterations were too expensive. 2 weeks before the wedding, she still didn't have a dress. My mom called me, stressed. "Maya, just let her wear something else. It's not worth the fight." It was worth the fight, but I was tired. So I said, "Fine. She can wear whatever she wants. Just not white." My mom laughed. "Obviously not white. She knows that." She didn't know that. Or she did, and she didn't care. "If you're listening right now, help me prove something wrong," my mom said. "I wouldn't reach 3,000 subscribers, but I believe stories like this deserve to be heard. Help me show that tales matter. Hit that subscribe button." Because what happened next is exactly why some people shouldn't be in your life, even if you share DNA. The wedding day was perfect. Sunny, 72 degrees. The venue was this beautiful garden estate with string lights and wildflowers everywhere. I felt like I was in a dream. My dress was ivory, vintage lace, off the shoulder. I'd been planning it for months, worked with a seamstress to make it exactly right. When I put it on that morning, I cried. The good kind of crying. The kind where you realize you're exactly where you're supposed to be. My bridesmaids looked beautiful. Dusty rose dresses, gold jewelry, natural makeup. Everything was coming together. My mom was crying. My dad kept clearing his throat to hide that he was crying too. Daniel's family was already at the venue. Guests were arriving. The photographer was setting up. Then Hannah walked in. White dress, not ivory, not cream, not champagne. White. Bright bridal white. Floor-length, fitted bodice, lace sleeves, and a small train that fanned out behind her when she walked. She looked like a bride. That was the point. The room went silent. My maid of honor, Jessica, whispered, "Are you fucking kidding me?" My mom's face went pale. My dad looked like he wanted to disappear. Hannah smiled. That sweet, innocent smile she uses when she knows exactly what she's doing. "What?" she said. "You said I could wear whatever I wanted." I stared at her, trying to process, trying to decide if I was seeing what I thought I was seeing or if I was losing my mind. "Hannah, you're wearing white." "It's not white. It's eggshell." "It's white." "You're being dramatic. It's just a dress." Here's the thing about gaslighting. It works best when there's an audience. Because now I had a choice. Make a scene at my own wedding or let it go and look weak. She'd engineered it perfectly. Jessica stepped between us. "You need to change. Now." Hannah's smile faded. "I don't have anything else to wear." "Then you don't stay." "Are you seriously going to kick me out? On Maya's wedding day? Do you know how that's going to look?" My mom tried to intervene. "Girls, please, let's not do this now. Maya, honey, you look so beautiful. Let's just focus on that." I looked at my mom, really looked at her, and I realized she was going to let this happen. She was going to prioritize keeping the peace over protecting me on my own wedding day. I turned to Hannah. "You have two options. Change into something appropriate or leave." "I'm not leaving." "Then you're not in any photos." Her face changed. The mask slipped for just a second. "What?" "You heard me. You can stay, but you're not in a single wedding photo. Not one." She laughed, nervous. "You can't do that. Watch me." I walked out, found my photographer. His name was Marcus. Early 40s, 20 years of experience. He'd shot hundreds of weddings. I said, "My sister is wearing white. I need you to keep her out of every shot. If she's in the frame, I don't take the picture. If she somehow ends up in a photo, I need her edited out. Completely. Can you do that?" Marcus looked past me, saw Hannah in the hallway. White dress, train, the whole spectacle. He looked back at me. "I've been shooting weddings for 20 years. I've seen this exact situation at least a dozen times. And every single time, the bride lets it go because she doesn't want to cause drama. You're the first person who's ever asked me to do something about it." He smiled. "It would be my genuine pleasure." Before I continue, I need your help. If this story is hitting you in any way, drop a comment right now. Just one word. Sister, sabotage, whatever you're feeling. I need to know these stories matter to someone. Because my family told me I ruined my own wedding by being petty. Prove them wrong. The ceremony started 20 minutes later. I walked down the aisle. My dad was crying. Daniel was crying. I was trying not to cry because I didn't want to ruin my makeup. It was perfect. Exactly what I'd imagined. The vows, the rings, the kiss. And through all of it, I could see Hannah in the front row. White dress. Sitting between my mom and my aunt. Smiling like she'd won. But here's what she didn't know. Marcus was a professional. Every time he lined up a shot and Hannah was in the frame, he'd wait until she moved or adjust the angle. Group photos? He positioned people so Hannah was just outside the frame. Family photos? He'd take multiple shots and specifically exclude her from the ones that would make the album. Candid moments? If Hannah walked into frame, he'd lower his camera and wait for her to move. She noticed. I should ask him. Maya, I know what you should ask him. Maya, I know what you're doing. What am I doing? You're punishing me. I told you. You could stay, but you wouldn't be in photos. You chose to stay. Her eyes filled with tears. The manipulation tears. I can't believe you're doing this. On your wedding day. I'm your sister. Then you should have acted like it. I walked away. My mom tried to talk to me during dinner. Maya, this is getting out of hand. Just let her be in a few photos. For me. No. You're being cruel. She wore white to my wedding, Mom. And you're asking me to reward that? I'm asking you to be the bigger person. I'm tired of being the bigger person. I've been the bigger person my entire life. I'd be proud of you. That almost made me cry, be proud of you. That almost made me cry again. My grandmother, my dad's mom, had dealt with a sister exactly like Hannah her whole life. She told me once, don't let people steal your joy, Maya. Not even family. Especially not family. Quick thing before we get to the photos. If you're the type of person who believes your wedding day is your day and nobody gets to sabotage that, I need you in this community. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Because I'm going to keep telling these stories. The ones about people who stopped being the bigger person and started protecting their peace. Help me build something here. We're almost at 3,000. Let's get there together. The reception continued. Dancing, toasts, cake cutting. Hannah tried to give a speech, grabbed the mic during open toasts. Started with, I've known Maya her whole life. The DJ looked at me. I shook my head. He gently took the mic back. Sorry, we're actually moving on to the next part of the program. Hannah's face went red. She sat down. Didn't talk to anyone for the rest of the night. Around 10 p.m., she left. No goodbye. Just grabbed her clutch and walked out. My mom followed her. Came back 20 minutes later. She's devastated, Maya. Good. How can you be so cold? How can you defend her? She wore white to my wedding, Mom. She did that on purpose, to hurt me, to take attention away from me. On the one day that was supposed to be about me and Daniel. And you're worried about her feelings? My mom didn't have an answer. She just walked away. 3 weeks later, I got the photos. Marcus delivered them personally. Brought them on a USB drive and a printed proof book. Daniel and I sat on the couch and went through them together. They were beautiful. Every single one. The ceremony, the first dance, the cake cutting, family photos with my parents, my grandparents, Daniel's family, group shots with our friends, candid moments, sunset portraits, everything. And Hannah wasn't in a single one. Not because Marcus had poorly cropped her out or blurred her face. She was just gone. Professionally, seamlessly edited out of every photo she'd managed to slip into. In the family photos, there was just empty space where she would have been, with other family members positioned naturally to fill it. In the wide shots of the ceremony, you could see her seat, but it was empty. Or another guest was subtly placed there. It was like she'd never been there at all. Marcus had included a note. Congratulations on your marriage. Some people don't deserve to be in your memories. Enjoy your album. I cried. Daniel held me. Not because I was sad, because I was relieved. Because when I look back at my wedding day in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, I'm not going to see my sister in a white dress trying to upstage me. I'm going to see the day I married the love of my life, surrounded by people who actually cared about me. One last thing before you go. If this story changed something in you, if it made you realize you don't owe toxic people a place in your memories, if it gave you permission to protect your joy, leave a comment. Tell me your story. Tell me about the family member you wish you could edit out. You're ready to be part of that. I'll see you're ready to be part of that. I'll see you in the next one. My mom called a few days after I got the photos. Hannah told me you edited her out of everything. I did. That's really hurtful, Maya. So is wearing white to someone's wedding. She made a mistake. She made a choice, and I made mine. When are you going to let this go? I already did. I let her go. My mom hasn't spoken to me since. Hannah sent me a long email, paragraphs about how hurt she was, how I'd always been jealous of her, how she'd only worn that dress because she wanted to look nice for my special day, how I was punishing her for trying to be supportive. I didn't respond. I just forwarded it to Jessica with the subject line, Exhibit A in why I don't talk to her anymore. My aunt, my mom's sister, called to tell me I was being immature. Family is forever, Maya. You're going to regret this. I said, the only thing I regret is not doing it sooner. She hung up on me. But here's what else happened. My dad called, said he was proud of me, said he should have stood up to Hannah years ago and he was sorry he didn't. My grandmother sent me a card with a handwritten note. Never apologize for protecting your happiness. Daniel's family has been incredible. His mom hugged me at Sunday dinner and said, you don't need toxic people in your life just because you share blood. And my friends? They've been amazing. Jessica got the story trending on Reddit. Thousands of people commented. Most of them saying they wish they'd done the same thing at their weddings. Some of them sharing their own horror stories about family members who tried to sabotage their big days. It felt good to know I wasn't alone. That this wasn't just me being dramatic or petty or cruel. Here's what I learned. Some people will never be happy for you. They'll say they are. They'll show up. They'll smile. But underneath, they're waiting for a chance to make it about them, to steal your moment, to remind you that no matter what you achieve, they're still more important. My sister wore white to my wedding. That wasn't an accident. That wasn't a fashion mistake. That was a declaration. A statement that said, even on your wedding day, I matter more than you. So I made a statement back. I said, you don't get to be in my memories. You don't get to look back at these photos in 20 years and pretend you were happy for me. You don't get to be part of the story I tell about the best day of my life. And you know what? I don't feel guilty. Not even a little bit. Because when I look at my wedding album now, I see joy. I see love. I see a day that was exactly what it was supposed to be. I don't see my sister in a white dress stealing focus. I don't see the family drama. I don't see the manipulation. I just see me and Daniel, starting our life together, surrounded by people who actually love us. Some battles aren't about winning. They're about refusing to let toxic people steal your memories. And I refuse. Every single day. I refuse to let Hannah rewrite history. I refuse to pretend her behavior was acceptable just to keep the peace. I refuse to look at my wedding photos and feel anything other than happiness. My wedding album sits on our coffee table now. Daniel and I look through it sometimes, point out funny moments we'd forgotten, laugh at his uncle's terrible dancing, admire how beautiful the sunset was during our portraits. And my sister? She's not there. Not in the photos. Not in the memories. Not in my life. Exactly where she belongs.